6% on a 200K account in a few days trading the daily time frame. Now, I know a lot of you thinking that can't be done. Daily time frame doesn't take a few days. Well, I'm going to break down the back end of the FTMO account and go through the trades that I took to make that a possible outcome, right? Because if you work a 9 to 5, you have kids, you have a family, you have a mortgage, you got to put food on the table, you got a lot of responsibilities. You do not have the luxury of waiting for price to come to a point of interest, going down to lower time frames, waiting for that confirmation whilst your boss is still stood over your shoulder. You shouldn't be trading anyway, especially if you have a construction job, a driving job, or a manual labor job, or just any job that requires 100% attention. Like you could be a doctor, you could work on an oil rig, right? There's a lot of jobs where you cannot be focusing on the charts. Some of you may be lucky with the whole working from home situation. Not everyone has that situation. So what do? You trade a daily time frame. So if you haven't watched that video I put out last week, I'll leave a link up there somewhere. Have a look at it and you'll see what I mean. I use that strategy to get these results. So if you haven't watched that video yet, watch it after this one. I'll put a link to it at the bottom as well and put it in the description down below. But let's just jump into the FTMO backend, jump into the trades that I took, just to show exactly what I mean. All right, so as you can see, this is the back end of FTMO. If I hit the refresh button, you can see what I mean. Ta-da, we refreshed. As you can see, we have got 11,660 at the moment. And if I scroll down, you could, well, see start date 11th of July. And it's now the 19th of July, so only 6 days. And if you have a look, we can clearly see, well, we got 35% consistency, but if I scroll down, you can see that we have 100% win rate. We have taken 3 trades. If I scroll down, you can see those trades. You can see the difference in how long they took to play out. So you can see one took almost 4 days, one took 5 days, one took just 15 hours, right? Doesn't have to take that long when you trade in a daily time frame, but this is just proof in the pudding of those trades playing out. And as you can see, I was seeing very bullish price action structure for the Swiss franc futures. So anything against the Swiss franc futures, that was a tongue twister. You can see I was selling against it. So I was selling A Swiss, N Swiss, and CAD Swiss. I was following the same example. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break down those pairs. I'm currently in EA at the moment. So that's another trade that I've got live. I'm currently in Pound Swiss at the moment. So that's another trade I got live. If you are watching this while I release it today, which is Friday the 19th, then technically this is a free signal for you as well. So if you want to take the trade, you can. You don't have to. But let's just see what happens next week about these 2 positions. But let's just go over the trades that I took. CAD Swiss. Here we go. Just delete this. As you can see here, price came to a point of interest. I did have a warning, right? Price gave me my confirmations. What are those confirmations? Price retraced to my point of interest, had a trend line break. Price crossed my RSI line, crossed over the EMA line. That was my go signal, simple 1-to-1. Why am I going for a 1-to-1? Purely because I don't want to be in the trades for that long. In a challenge environment, risking 2% per trade, all I need is 5 1-to-1s and I've passed, or 4 1-to-1s and I've passed. I don't need to have that many R's to be successful in this. And as you can see, 100% win rate so far is obviously fantastic, right? I win more than I lose, so hence 1-to-1 logically makes sense. And also, I don't absolutely die by paying swaps, right? So that was Aussie CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss. Let's look at NZD Swiss. Same situation. What happened? Price came back to an area of supply. Trendline break. RSI line crossed below the EMA line. Boom. Took the trade 1-to-1. Simple price action trading. Again, on a daily time frame. Why is it so easy? Purely because at the end of the day, so if you're in the UK, 10 p.m. at night, this candle's going to close. That's the only time you need to look at the charts. If you have a setup, take the trade, set and forget it, move on with your life. Go to work the next day, go to bed, don't stress about it. It's going to take time to play out. This one took 5 days, and that's absolutely fine, right? Let's look at the next trade. Aussie Swiss. What happened? Price came down, came back to where? My area of supply. What happened? Trendline break. RSI line crossed below the EMA line. Boom. This took 15 hours, right? Simple as that. Went to bed. Next day, if you got work to go to, you want to play golf, want to go to the gym, want to go for a run, whatever you want to do, you can. Just set it and forget it. Some take faster than others. As I say, this took 15 hours. CAD Swiss took a couple days, which is like 5 days. That's absolutely fine. But again, this pattern happens over and over again. It doesn't just happen on this, it happens on Bitcoin. What happened on Bitcoin? Here we go. Price came to a point of interest and liquidated, broke above the trend line, pushed up. 2 days later, boom, hit TP. Right? I'm also looking at shorting the JP225, Japanese futures, the Nikkei index. I'm on about shorting that as well. Let's see how these play out. It's going to take a few days. That's okay. It's absolutely fine. I'm also in NZD USD. It's been in there for probably about 3 weeks, this one, but I'm letting it play out, right? Sometimes price doesn't just go straight to my TP like it did on Aussie Swiss. Sometimes it takes a few weeks, that's fine. But if it takes a month to play out, all I'm aiming for is 2 to 3% in a month. So all I need is 1 or 2 of these trades in a month and I'm done. Right? 2 to 4%, done. That's it. Because 2 to 4% on a FTMO account is big cheese, right? That's 7,500, that's 4,000. Do the maths. Let's add this up. So, sorry, 7,581 plus 4,078 equals 11,600. You keep 80%. You keep $9,327. What is that in pounds? Your payday at the end of the month is £7,200. So again, I keep stressing to my team, keep it simple. If you don't have time to go to lower time frames, where I have strategies for that as well, using my T3 strategy, if you don't have that luxury, go to the daily time frame. It works just as well and you spend less time. People have different personalities. They either want a fast result or they just want a consistent result. People want fast and consistent. That is a lot more difficult to achieve and takes a lot more time. But I believe everyone can follow that strategy with their busy lifestyles, especially being in the UK, because I have mentioned this before, where I think it's really hard being a trader in the UK if you want to do lower time frames, is because purely you're missing all that volume with a 9 till 5. When I say 9 till 5, most people work 8 till 6. That's the reality of most people in the UK, especially with commuting times, right? So if that's 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, you're missing London Open, New York, London Cross, and basically London Close. And then you've got that weird eerie period where the spreads go massive at 10 p.m. So it's very dangerous to be in a trade at that time anyway, especially holding overnight when you've only got maybe a 10 pip stop, especially trading JPY pairs. That's another level. So if you haven't got that luxury, do the daily time frame. If you're stuck, you don't know what to do, click it down below. My mentorship is there. Have a look for it, see if it's for you. If it is, great. Follow the steps. I'll see you on the inside.